Hello everybody at Sister Pat's Kids Camp. My name is James Fiorella. I'm going to teach you the basics of how to make music. I know everybody out there probably loves music, and we can all agree that music is made of a bunch of different sounds put together, and when you listen to it at the end, you can hear the complete audible vision of what it is. What I mean is, when you put all of the pieces together, it makes the song with the lyrics, with the beat. Today I'm going to teach you the beat. Each little sound within the beat, when they're all layered together, will create a brand new sound. That's something that's vivid, that will stick in your head for maybe ages. Maybe you'll like the song for a little bit. Maybe it'll be some song you'll love for the rest of your life. So come over here and I'll show you what we should do. First, for this, you will need a computer, a music making program like Ableton. You got to download that, or you can purchase it at Guitar Center. Okay? There's other ones too. What those are called is DAWs. DAWs are music making programs, okay? But today we're working with Ableton. So if you could come down here. First, you want to open Ableton and open a new music session. So right here another one's open, so I'm going to open a new live set. Okay? Save. Don't save. Okay? So this is how it starts. Right here, it shows you the channel, the master, the sends. All of this is very complicated, but what I'm going to teach you today is very simple. It's going to show you just how the music program works and how people make music. Like your favorite song on the radio, your favorite song that you have is now made on computers for the most part. So I will start by opening a folder that I made full of different sounds that I want to use for this. So let's listen to these individually. You hear that? It's kind of a spacey sound. It's got a little kind of a spacey hip-hop sound to it. You hear that little crash? It's like cymbals. See, when you listen to them individually, they sound just like this. Okay? When you listen to this, it's an explosion. But we want to have that to emphasize the drums that I'm going to be putting in the track. So what we're going to go through now is press Tab and Control T to create new audio tracks. So this right here is a MIDI track, which means that's for if you want to plug something in and be playing the piano, but we're just doing the basic intro to Ableton right now, okay? So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to press Control T to create new audio tracks, or Command T rather. So go like this, and create as many as you want. I like to create around 15 because I think we'll need about 15, 16 for this track. Okay, so I've organized all of my samples. Make sure to have all your samples organized for your song to put on the audio tracks. So right here, we're gonna take that song that sound, the 8-bit ARP, that's arpeggio, and we're gonna put it right here, and we're gonna put it all the way over here. And I'm going to play it low for now. You see those waves right there? You never want those little waves that you see there to ever be touching the top of that line right there, because that means what's happening is it's going to sound distorted and it's not going to sound good in the song. All right? So we're going to keep going back and forth and dragging our samples that I organized from this folder. Okay? And then this sound that we were listening to before, that sounds like crashes on a cymbal, we're going to pull that over here, make sure they're all lined up. Keep in mind that I've created all this stuff before, and you're going to have to do your own artistic vision for what you want your music to sound like. I chose to create a sort of hip-hop beat that sounds a little bit dark and ominous, but something that I could hear somebody rapping to. So here we go. Okay, we got the hi-hat, explosion. It can be a little tricky. You got to select each and every one. So here's the kick right here. We'll put the kick underneath there. And what I'm going to do is minimize this. You can minimize things like this by putting the arrow right here and dragging down. Okay? So it says drag each sample onto the audio tracks and listen to them individually. Once I'm done putting all of these on, we'll listen to all of the sounds individually. Okay. What? Okay. So we're moving them along to bell. This is the bell sound. We'll only listen to several of the sounds. That's the 808 bass line. And that's usually used in a lot of hip hop and rap music. Here's a brass hit. So whenever the drum hits, it has that extra influence. And here's a brass staccato that kind of gives it some movement, some energy. Let's move that over here. And here's the clap snare. This is something that's interesting. It just sounds like a little echoey snare. But when it's put in the midst of all these other sounds and they combine and you listen to them, it becomes a whole different thing. And here's some sound effects that are added too. Just weird bubbly sound effects that I put in certain parts of the song. Like a siren kind of futuristic effect. We'll put that on there too. So after we have all of the sounds here, listen to what it sounds like. Everything's layered. This is the 8-bit arpeggio right here. This is the crashes. This is the explosion I played for you. This is a lead right here. If you want to hear this, we could play it through the session right now. It's a really cool sound, but it doesn't make much sense until it blends with the other stuff. And that's the string arpeggio that I added. That's a cool little sonic thing that I added for left and right. Now, play the music project with all of the sounds playing. Let's hear what it sounds like all together. I've already bounced it, which is the next step. It says make sure all of the volume levels are correct so the music sounds to your liking. You see how all of these wave files right here, all of these are called wave files because they have the little waves, and you never want the wave touching again. I gotta stress that. It'll distort the track and it'll make it sound kind of god-awful. So this is what it sounds like all bounced down. And bounce down means you select this, all of the track, make sure all of these wave files are selected, and then you go File, Export Audio Video, and then you go to Export. Ready? And what that does, here we'll just call it 23. Okay? And then you press Save. Boom. And what that'll do is it'll bounce it down into a file. But I have bounced it down in advance, so this is what all of the sounds sound like together. Let's see. Let's see if it sounds good. So can you hear all the little sounds that make up an entire song? It's pretty interesting. You hear the little subtleties that make it start to become a song. So that is a bunch of individual sounds composed to make a song in Ableton. And I hope everybody at Pat's Camp having a great time. And sorry if I was a little bit too long dragging and importing things, but I hope this gives you a better understanding of how music works and a better understanding of how to actually put together samples that you've composed into production to make a song. Thank you. I hope you guys are doing great.